it feel good today. But I wanted to share this with you. Someone inboxed me late last night, and then I had someone very close to my heart text me, and I wanted to address this big question in everybody's mind about my sexuality. Uh, I'm not a homosexual. Okay. Uh, I'm not bisexual. I don't get the labels. However, I have no desire with the damage that has been done to me by women, any romantic involvement with a woman. I just want that to be clear. I've had some people be sarcastic and come in my inbox, and uh, you're trans or whatever. I don't care about none of that. I don't get caught up in labels. People are going to do what they want to do. Now, I know what the Bible say. I know what people say. If two men want to be married, be together, I don't believe in two same-sex folks getting married. They can't procreate. But if you're two consensual adults and you want to sleep together, hey, man, have at it. I'm not a label guy. Now, if I choose to lay with a man, a woman, whatever I choose to do, that's my life. But I've had a lot of damage and trauma in my life. Do I feel like I have to address this? No, but I'm going to address it so we don't have to worry about, since being a new year, people are trying to set up and, oh, he's gay and he's homophobic. I'm not, none of that. I don't get caught in the labels. I love my wife. My wife has no desire to be around me. She, for whatever reason, she's disconnected since she's been released from prison. And I have no desire to keep entertaining that toxic energy. Do I hate my wife? No. I could never grow to hate that woman. I can never do that. But just to clear the air so people don't have to run back and spread rumors, I don't need to creep. My desires are my desires. And I'm going to be DL Fambro prior. And that's just what I'm going to do. So I don't care about if you're gay, if you're not gay. I don't care about that. I'm not gay. Okay? But if I want to be with a man, I will. Okay? I don't hate homosexuals. I don't hate lesbians. How can I say that I got a lesbian daughter? You know what I mean? So I'm not a spooky kind of guy that hides behind smoke screen. I've been damaged by women. I gave my life, I changed my whole life around and dedicated my whole life to a woman that didn't give a damn about me. So and I'm not in church anymore. So if I choose in this part of my life to be with a man, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be me and I'm going to be comfortable. That's not my desire, but I can do that if I choose to. I don't have to hide and be smokescreen. So people that get in my inbox and try to set me up and say, oh, this preacher, he got put out because he gay. I don't care about none of that. This is a new year and I'm happy and I'm comfortable with me. Just because you got to creep and go around and preach the gospel and have a boyfriend on the side, I don't do that. Again, I'm a former swinger. I was a swinger for years. I've done everything under the sun. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to be transparent, let people know this is a new year. Y'all need to quit being fake. You women, if you desire husbands, don't be marrying men just to have you a safety blanket. And you men that don't want to be married to women, don't do it. And this is the silly stuff I talk about. This ain't gonna do a ditty, nothing of that. I just try to be transparent because you get a lot of people that come in my inbox. You get church folk, all kind of folk come in my inbox asking a whole bunch of ridiculous questions, childish questions that don't make no sense to me. And most of the people that ask those questions, your granddaddy and your mammy and your bishop is the ones out here essaying these little kids in the Church of God in Christ, the PAW and everywhere else. So let's just keep this positive. Okay? My disclaimer tells exactly what I do on this channel. I don't hide behind nothing. You have my legal name, folks as family members and connecting me. You got my social security number. I don't do anything that you've heard is definitely false. I come on lives and address things as they are because I'm transparent like that. Okay? So in 2026, we're not going out of our way to address stupid stuff. It's a new year, and I'm here to help those that want help. If you want help and you want to be out of bondage, this is the place, and this is the where you can connect and get those things done. You know what I mean? If you want to find out if your leader been out here doing kind of stuff, this is the page to find out because I'm going to expose them. You know what I mean? Whether you the governor of Ohio, whether you the mayor, whether you an attorney, whether you a bishop, a pastor, a deacon, a wife, a widow, I don't care who you are. If you corrupt, you corrupt. Scam artists don't reveal their life stories. You hear what I'm saying? Okay? Scam artists don't go out and put their information out on social media and, make themselves complicit in crimes. That's not what scam artists do. Scam artists are sneaky. They do stuff under the disguise. I'm an open book. You know what I mean? And he should be fired. To answer that question, I made my amends with God because I haven't done nothing. You know what I mean? That's why I'm here. Because church folks, my family, my wife, in-laws, different people have tried to kill me, backdoor me, all this kind of stuff. And lie, I expose them. People do damage control. That's why this channel's here. Let that be clear. But back to the Browns. Yeah, he should be fired. But I told people a long time ago, in my personal opinion, I can be a conspiracy theorist. I believe that Deion Sanders strategically made this situation kind of happen for his son so he can make a statement that the Browns, which we all know, ownership is racist as hell, but it is what it is. How can you be the owner of a NFL team, the oldest professional institution in the state of Ohio? You break the team up, get an expansion team. You hear me? And then the expansion team, they ain't doing too well since Ray been gone. But I just wanted to address that part. Okay. I wanted to address that because I don't hate no one, especially my wife. I can never hate her. I can never hate my wife. I would never hate my wife. That's my wife. Doesn't justify what she did and what she was complicit in doing with my family, my in-laws, et cetera, et cetera. Doesn't change the fact that I know without a shadow of doubt I was a good husband. Might not have been a good first, second husband, but a third and a fourth husband, been there. I built this woman over 20 years. You know what I mean? So if I'm pastoring, if I'm doing Masonic stuff, and then my wife's background is to drink and party, my in-laws is drug addicts, and they do all this crazy stuff, and I'm out here doing positive stuff behind the scene. I got family members and Church of God in Christ folk helping my wife destroy me along with my children. You know what I mean? So years past, that stuff is behind you. That's behind me. I'm talking about what we're doing now. And I told you I'm getting prepared for a real stressful week. I got 2 attorneys. I got to talk to the attorney about my blood relatives, that situation in Virginia. And I got to talk to my attorney about some protective measures in the event that I have to get this divorce full-fledged. And that's what I'm talking about. And I'm going to continue to be the trailblazer. And I'm going to continue to do what I need to do to make sure that it's right. And we got to do right. You know what I mean? We all guilty of something. We need to quit playing games. We all guilty of something. But when y'all start dipping in people's personal life and, trying to label folks and sexuality and all this, who gives a happy? Nobody give a happy about that. Because at the end of the day, God love everybody. You might not agree theologically on what people do and how they do it. That's your business. And that's between you and God. But while you judging folk, talk about what you and your granddaddies and them was doing in this Church of God in Christ and in these Baptists and in these apostolic and all this other stuff. And this is why I posted about a month ago why the black people have left the church. Y'all talk about gay people, you talk about lesbians, but all the celebrities, y'all getting y'all's hair done by homosexuals. So y'all wild as hell. That's what, God forgive me. Y'all wild with that. But this is positive energy, man. And thank God for my two cats, Gizmo and Sheba. And I think, those that continue to, watch up, watch and everything like that. But I don't need to ask God forgiveness for nothing. I got a personal relationship with God. And you might need to get a relationship where this Logan Stacy is. I don't know what you're talking about. Ask God forgiveness for what? What did I do? You see what I mean? I've made all my wrongs right. With whoever I need to make them with, whether it be my children, ex-wives, except my first wife. I haven't called, made no amends with her and don't pretend to. But my love child's mom, I text her, emailed her, apologized to her. You know what I mean? My children, when they became teenagers, I sit down with each one of my children with paperwork and show them evidence of all the stuff that my first wife's friends have told down through the years. They were lies. My children knew it, but they, again, like my prior family, they've been manipulated by their mother. Some of the prior, they've been manipulated by their mothers and their grandparents and different things like that. I don't get caught up in hearsay. I deal with facts. You hear what I'm saying? So if I'm essaying and I'm doing all this stuff to my in-laws, my wife, the church folks saying I'm doing, I offered you the opportunity to sue me for defamation because everything on this page is not alleged, baby. You hear me? So because I'm transparent and you can't be, that's a problem between you and God. That means you got some low self-esteem issues. Because I've aired my whole life on the internet for consistently. In church and out of church for a total of 14 years, but as far as just trauma journey, 4 years consecutively. And each battle, the good Lord has taken me higher and higher. And I told you, once I get my name back, it's over. And God has blessed us. He's blessed me. And he's going to keep blessing me because I'm a fighter. And I'm a trailblazer. And I'm not the guy that, play these games with people. This is what I do. This is just what I do. I'm a realist. If you can't accept that, that's your problem. But I don't get in the labels. If I was in the labels, I'd be on here condemning folk for a lot of stuff. But there's more sin than drinking, smoking, and homosexuality and lesbianism. There's a whole bunch of obese preachers out there. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's going on outside of that's just what it is. So I appreciate you. I appreciate your word. I got another word of encouragement from another preacher that I really thought hated me, but he inboxed me this morning on my email and my Gmail account and my messenger and pretty much gave me some encouraging word. And I can appreciate the dialogue. We can agree to disagree. This is what I do. You do what you do. Just keep it positive and keep it righteous. And don't be playing games with people's emotions, playing on people's trauma. And you don't have to worry about all these content creators and stuff popping up, exposing you and all your business. You wouldn't have to worry about those type of things. But like I told you, good people are hard to come by. You better keep them close. Keep them close because even people with good hearts, sometimes they just give up and don't want to be bothered with fools. And I just want to encourage you today. Be transparent. Don't play games with people. And, Chad Jeets, I appreciate the disrespect, whatever, but one thing about Diddy is a criminal. Diddy was raping, killing entertainers. His mama, all these people, he's been doing this stuff for years. That's a crime. You hear me? Kids, Russell Simmons, Diddy, those are crimes, sir. Mr. Chad, that's a crime. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing, being a freak is not a crime, Mr. Jeets. Yeah, that's not a crime. Right? Preston Riley, do you do what you want? That's right, man. You gotta do what you feel. I don't have those burning desires. You know what I mean? I don't have that. But if I choose to, I will. And I wouldn't be ashamed of it. I'm just being transparent so people can get that out their head about what I do in my bedroom or a hotel room, wherever. You know what I mean? All you do is ask questions. You know, when you incite stuff like that, use this as a little, gold nugget of information, because one day you're going to go through some trauma and you're going to want someone to have some compassion for you. And let me end it with this. If your brother be overtaken by a fault, those that are spiritual, not the hypocrite, not religious, not draped behind fraternal aprons and gloves, not pulpit robes and doctorate bars on your arms, not the cassock, the tippet and the cord and the chain and the ring on your right hand and the habit and all that kind of stuff. No, those that are spiritual should restore such a one with the spirit of meekness. Consider this your Sunday school today and your morning worship from the former pastor. So when you out here making trips and mistakes, you made some mistakes once in your life too, right? And the thing about it is we forget the stuff that we did. And we forget the stuff that our mamas and daddies did. And we forget the stuff that the church did. A lot of us been dealing with church trauma, but we don't want to deal with that. We want to dance over it. We want to dance over sin, dance over lying on folk, gossiping on folks, attacking folk. We dance over all that. Then soon some paperwork come out, instead of apologizing, we don't want redemption. Because what fellowship of light with darkness? When you got a guy that's out here trailblazing and giving light, of course demons gonna be nervous. Right? Of course the devil gonna be mad. What fellowship have light with darkness? It didn't say church or non-church. Light with darkness. When I flip on a light switch in darkness, all darkness disappears, dissipates. Because darkness doesn't relate to light. Okay? So let's be careful. Let's be mindful going into 26. Don't fake the funk. Keep it real. Don't be real. Keep it real. Okay? And remember, one day you are going to have some issues. And I pray to God that he revisits and reminds you, we all filthy rags. I ain't no better than you. You ain't no better than me. At the end of the day, when I cut my wrists, black, yellow, green, or white, we all bleed the same. We all bleed the same. So get that out your mind. All the negative and all that stupid stuff, y'all need to get that out your head, man. It's a new year. It's going to drive you crazy. It's going to drive you crazy. Find something to do that's positive instead of engaging in all that divisive negative energy, trying to incite some stuff that ain't even there. So you have to explore facts. And the facts are sometimes you have to identify where your trauma came from. And when you identify that trauma, you stay away from those type of people. You stay away from those kind of people that distribute out that negative energy. And most folks that got negative energy, they're not going to receive what I'm saying. Why? Because when you talk the truth, people get nervous. They call that tattletale and snitch and doing all this. But while you out there rolling in the dirt with them, y'all cool and dandy because misery loves company. And I don't like misery. I've been through 54 years of misery. I'm at a place in my life now, I'm happy, man. I might not look it. I might not sound like it. I have not been more happy in my life. 26 has been good to me starting off. And I refuse to allow ticks, fleas, dogs, anybody that's disrupting my peace to get passes. I'm not doing it. If I was a friend to you and I helped you and you betrayed me, we have nothing to talk about in 26. If I fed you and you gave me a stone, we have nothing to talk about. I'm just being transparent. I'm not ignoring nobody. I'm not throwing no shade. If you lied on me and you watch me try to kill me, try to do anything to me, I have nothing to talk to you about in 26. I accept your new way of life and what you walked on to do. That's a blessing for you. But what I'm not going to do is revisit demons and Judases. I'm not doing that. And I don't care if you blood, mud, church, unchurched, politician, whatever you are. And that's not being evil. That's being smart. Why would I go around people that hate me? Why would I want to go around people that want to see me dead, that don't believe in me, don't want to invest in anything positive? You know what I mean? I don't need that in my life. If that's what you want to do, be miserable. I'm going to keep being happy, keep putting my shorts up, give my gold nuggets like I'm doing now, addressing issues that need to be addressed. You know what I mean? So I'm just letting you know what it is. So you ain't got, this is not a attention seeker. This is not me saying, hey man, I'm repenting, I'm getting back into the pulpit and this and that. I've already dealt with the church folk, dealt with them, they're erased. I'm head on now with my prior blood family, head on. Eventually it's going to be a court situation, and some people are probably going to be going to prison. But I'm prepared for it. I got a few other little things I got lined up that I'm dealing with in regards to my in-laws. I'm getting some things in perspective. You know, I don't want to see no harm and nothing come up to them. I separate. I send information to one person on a regular basis. And I still keep in contact with my youngest stepdaughter when she decided she want to call me. Outside of that, I don't talk to nobody. I stay right here in this house like I always was, a homebody, for 20 years. And I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm happy. I'm content. And I'm just thankful, man. You know, again, the brother in Dayton, I appreciate the encouragement. Brother down there in Sandusky area, I appreciate what you sent me. That encouraged me, that helped me. But the invites of me coming to church and different things like that, please don't do it. You're wasting your time. I have no desire to go to church. I will never walk into a church house again, ever in life. I have no respect for hypocrites. And I don't hate the individuals that hurt me, but I do despise what you did. I don't hate, you know, how other people deal with their pain and their trauma. I enjoy the way that I did it for me. I'm not completely healed, but I'm healing. And in order for me to totally heal, I got to continue to keep the folks that I cut off. Because they drain my energy and they're negative. I don't have time for that. And some of you people are going to have to wake up and understand, when people are up here draining your energy and all they want to call you for is when they need something. They don't need your advice, but they want your money. You don't need them kind of people in your life. And I don't. And I just wanted to take that few minutes. I just want to address that question because I keep getting these crazy inboxes and people trying to bait me to, you know, whatever. I'm very transparent. You know what I mean? So it's not about wanting what you want and getting what you need. I don't desire to be with nobody sexually. I don't have desire to be in a relationship, a marriage. I don't desire none of that. I desire to continue to help people because I'm focused. And at this stage of the game, sex is not even on my mind. You hear what I'm saying? I'm almost 60 years old. I've had enough sex in my life. I don't need to be worrying about nobody's sex. I need to worry about getting my little cousins situated So when I close my eyes, they don't have to worry about being backdoored and trapped and bamboozled and hoodwinked with false narratives. This is your morning worship. And I want you to get this golden nugget of information because it's going to help you. It's going to help you. And what might not come out in the water is definitely going to come out in the rinse. That's a remix. So keep your head focused, keep your head up, stay out of folks' business. Be mindful that your day is going to come where you're going to go through some trauma and some turbulence in your life. And it might not be church folk. It might be your job. It might not be your job. It might be your child. It might not be your child. It might be your friend. It might not be your friend. It might be your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, someone close to you. But let this be a lesson to you that when it takes 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 people to attack one man, that's a pure display of being a coward. And I just want you to know that. Take this year. Yesterday's gone. You got to go with what you got today. And I understand what your mom said you wasn't going to make it, and your granddaddy said you wasn't going to make it, and you was always going to be on government assistance. No, you don't have to do that. You can focus, you can zone in, and be what you are purposed to be in your life, despite of your trauma and your circumstance. I know a lot of young folks has been raped. I know a lot of young folks that didn't graduate high school. I know a lot of folks that can't read and write. I know a lot of folks has been in and out of jail. I know a lot of folks have had some bad backgrounds that turned out to be beautiful people. And I'm one of them. So you can't tell me and make excuses about what someone said you couldn't do. You can't make excuses because I'm an example of 50-some years. That you can do it, you can make it, and you can be somebody, regardless of what your mama said, your daddy said, folks walking off, leaving you. You can make it. Stop making excuses. Because you wasn't given a silver spoon. You used the wooden spoon you was given and make something out of your life. Quit asking for handouts and do what you got to do. There's purpose in you. I want this to go through the algorithm. There's purpose in you. There's destiny in you. All you need is a little bit of faith, size of a mustard seed. That's all you need. And if you believe it, it's going to happen. See, because the pitfall come in when you want everybody to believe in you and you ain't got enough self-esteem and you ain't got enough confidence in yourself. And then every time somebody give you some criticism, you're going to give up. You got to have faith in yourself. You got to believe in you. I don't know who needed to hear this morning. You got to believe in yourself. The songs, if you listen to the songs that I put on these shorts, they all have a message. Listen to them. Watch the shorts. Watch the lives. I'm just an emotional person. I'm not angry. You just gotta do it. And you gotta listen, pay attention, focus to the lyrics. Because when the music stops, when you can't tap your foot to the rhythm, you still need to hear a still small voice of that lyric in your ear to carry you on to the next situation. Can I help you? See, when people subscribe to this channel, they don't come here for gossip. Some just come for the antics and some just come for the shorts. Power off. But there's definitely a message in what I be talking about on this channel. And you're going to get a little bit of everything. You're going to get some exposure on corruption. You're going to get some encouragement. You're going to get some egregious statements made, but it's all factual. And you got to pick your head up and you got to do what you got to do to make it to the next level because people count on you and you don't know who's watching your life and who you can be affecting. And if I gave up 15, 20 years ago, if I gave up 4 years ago, how many people would have committed suicide? Well, I've been on this journey and I've gone around making excuses all my life on why I couldn't make this opportunity and why I couldn't make this opportunity. No, you can't make excuses. You got to step up to the plate. Whether you're a man or you're a woman, you got to step up and you got to speak up. That's what you got to do. There's a message and there's a method in my madness. And the method is I'm shining light on darkness. Because what does that do? It eliminates all excuses. Whether you accept the truth or not, that's up to you. But once I enlighten you on what you're doing, the good book say if you know to do good and don't know it, that's what's sin. So you can't walk around talking about my mom, dad didn't tell me. If you got YouTube, this goes through people's TVs and this goes through people's cell phones. So people see this. So you can't make excuses about, well, I didn't know that. Oh, if you check in here and you like, share, and subscribe, and it's free, and you tell your friends about it, they gonna know. And then you ain't gonna be able to say, I didn't know. Thank you for that 31 minutes. Hope that gold nugget helped you. I'm real emotional. I'm an activist. I'm a very emotional person. I'm very vocal. It's in my genes. It's in my genes. And I want to close out with each and every one that engaged with me this morning. I just felt inspired to take the extra few minutes. I really wanted to address those little weird texts and emails that I've been getting, about whatever the sadistic crap is that people be dealing with. I don't have time for that, but I wanted to give you this little gold nugget this morning on your Sunday. And consider this your morning worship, your Sunday school, your YPWW, your Christian Union, youth Congress, whatever you want to classify this as this morning. I want you to take it. And if you non-church, take this as as a lesson from another human being. That just because you've been dealt bad cards throughout your life, that's not an excuse to go out there and F up your life and somebody else's life. You got to take those tragedies and turn them into triumphs. And I thank the good Lord upstairs on how he's helped me and how he shielded me from death. And he gave me another opportunity. And I wanted to take the opportunity to continue this journey and speak and let people know what it is and what's really going on. The world would be a better place if people would be honest. If you want to be trusted, you have to be honest. As the good Lord continue to give me momentum, and as my subscribers continue to grow, and as people continue to tap in to my message, I want people to know that you have a voice. You have a voice. And it just vexes my spirit to see people in the United States of America. These United States of America. And all of us that say that we holding the upright banner, so many victims. Said we're going to do it. There's so many victims out here. And God spared me to be able to talk about it. It just breaks my heart to see how many people play in people's face and then they don't understand that we're not fighting against human beings. This is a spiritual battle. And the devil is playing for keeps, and he's killing people. And he's using human beings as gatekeepers. And all these innocent children that have been hurt. You got good men out here. You got good women out here that's breaking their necks trying to make a difference. And they get held in bondage and in captivity with lies. And then we got folks that have license and credentials, raising their right hand, swearing to tell the truth and the whole truth, and lying and victimizing kids, victimizing family. And then we laugh and change narratives. The devil is a lie. You can't pee on folks and make them think it's rain. I won't get too emotional, but that breaks my heart. But God let me live. He let me live. I'm not going to use my platform to kill people, hurt people. But I am going to do what I'm supposed to do. And I am going to do what I'm supposed to do and speak out against people that, play these games. I am going to do that. And I just want you to take that golden nugget. And I want you to keep your head up, man. Keep your head up. I don't want to, I'm a bag of water. I don't want to really go there. But it just breaks my heart how society has put people in trick bags to make people think that all this stuff to go on is okay. And it's not. And it starts from the highest. We got the president. Now, I ain't going to say too much about it because the last person that went on YouTube saying something about Trump, the next day they got arrested. And the way Trump mad right now, he might have some agents on my live. And I don't want no problem. I ain't scared of Trump and no other politician, especially if they're crooked. But I hope that helped you today. Hope it wasn't too emotional for you. I hope it was transparent enough for you. Hope it was a clear message. I hope it wasn't a divisive message that would leave you confused. I hope that you would have a better understanding that you're welcome here in this space on this YouTube channel. You're welcome here to come in and engage and find out facts. Thank you for continuing to be with me on this journey. And if you're from Cleveland, I think a petition should be signed to get that coach up out of there, especially be playing with. I'm not a Deion Sanders fan or his son's fan, but right is right and wrong is wrong, and they need to be up out of there. And if somebody can get their money together, maybe they can buy out the ownership. They don't want the Browns anyway. So maybe we can get a petition going and we can get them damn owners up out of Cleveland and we can get that damn Savasky, how you pronounce the damn name, up out of Cleveland Browns. And that's the only profanity I'm going to use on a Sunday when it refers to these Browns. I'm upset about that. Somebody just brought that to my remembrance when I saw it in this feed. But thank you. Thank you for the positive, the negative, the neutral, all the comments, those that engage. At least it lets me know you took the time to think about me, and I appreciate that. And I wish you the best. I wish no ill on nobody. I just want to cheat you so I can reach you. And one day maybe I can meet you. And I hope and I wish the best for everybody. I wish you great success in 2026. Wherever that success may lie in your life, you deserve to win. And don't let people's labels, don't let people's murky water deter you from following the truth. Because when the sun sets you free, you're not just free, you're free indeed. I told you last night I hear change dropping. I hear change dropping. I hear change dropping. I hear change dropping. I hear them. I'm due for another visit from the Raven. Due for another visit for impartation of this knowledge that I'm about to receive. And I just want you to take those gold nuggets, If it applies to you, take it. If it don't, fill it out, pass it on to someone that might be able to help them, okay? But whatever you've been labeled with, don't let that label disable your passion for what it is you need to do for what's right. And don't ever let no one dictate to you how you verbalize your pain. That's your pain. And you got to manage that the best way you can. I hope that helped you today. You almost got an hour. And that wasn't my intent, but it came from my heart. I love you, each and every one of you. Diana Lane, I don't hate you, girl. I love you, and my love for you is never going to change. But at some point in your life, you got to be you, and you got to deal with the traumatic issues that you had in your past that you haven't dealt with. Because if you bleed on other folk, you're going to put yourself in some precarious situations that's going to cause you to pay a price for something that you didn't even deserve to be penalized with. You're almost 60 years old now. You got to be you. You can't be your mom. You can't be your aunt. You can't be your sisters, your cousins. You got to be you. And you're going to have to learn when you married, you got to be loyal to your husband first. Not your children, not your exes, none of that. You got to be loyal to your husband. And when you got a man that has covered you down through the years and is stuck by you, let this be a lesson to you. God don't play. You've been around me a long time, and you've seen anybody that's ever came up against me, nothing's good has happened to them. And God did it. I didn't have to. So maybe you are afraid of success. Maybe you intimidated because this is not something that you're accustomed to. I'm not accustomed to what I've been dealing with either. But I adjusted my lifestyle thinking something was going to be better than what I end up getting. So let this be a lesson. I don't need to shuck and jive and hide behind smoke screen and lie to my family. Because one thing I do know, I don't take my marriage issues to my family. It ain't none of their business. Because the good books say you leave your father and your mother and you cleave to your wife or your husband. So I'm just making it clear. A lot of the disasters and trauma in my life would not transpire had not first started at home. And when you allow people on the outside to speak on your marriage, you're going against your covenant and you'll be cursed until you fix it. That's the book. Just letting you know. Let that be a gold nugget. Again, men, you don't have to beat your wife. You ain't got to disrespect them. You ain't got to dishonor her. But what you do is once you've been fed up, you just deal with it. And systematically for 50 plus years, I've been traumatized by women. And I've got to the point where I'm not taking it no more. This is what it is. Ain't gonna do with hate. Ain't gonna do with nobody's sexuality. None of that. All it has to do with I'm not interested. You know, I continue to do what I do to appease my mind and my pleasures. With my cell phone. I don't have time to be going out. Getting AIDS, HIV, and all this other crazy stuff, and getting strung out on drugs and all this. I don't have time for that. I got time to do what's right, and I appreciate it. I'll go on another 5 hours. Once I get emotional, it just brings up, and I want to stay within the narrative and the content in which I'm trying to convey to you today. I appreciate you. Thank you for spending time with me today. I'm not doing no more lives today. Till the sun go down, and I appreciate you. Thank you. Oh, let me close this out. Bruce Smith, 493, poor guy, living lie. I don't need to live a lie, sir. And Natural Natty, shut up. Yep. Got that. Good. Bro is Satanist. Yep. Everybody. Yep. I'm just reading some of these comments in case I need to address somebody in particular. Oh, just a couple knuckleheads that look like. But I'm not worried about it. This is you got to be transparent, man, and you just kick folks to the curb. They don't mean no good. Appreciate the gold nugget 45 and counting. You be blessed.